Central Disaster Management Headquarters and also from the Ministry of Marine Transport present. We also have sign language translation being provided. First, we will hear from Minister Bang Neung-hoo. So I am the first vice head of the Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasures Headquarters for Corona-19, Minister Bang Neung-hoo. As of July 12th, there were 21 additional community spread, and there were 23 additional cases coming in from abroad. In total, there were 13,417 confirmed cases, and as of now, 950 people are still being treated. We had an additional case of death yesterday. Until now, there has been 289 cases of death. We pay our condolences to the deceased and to the family members as well. Today, a meeting was held under the leadership of Prime Minister Chung Se-kyun. We talked about the status of COVID-19, and we also talked about operation of the facilities. I will explain about the evaluation for the risk that happened over the 2 weeks. When we are evaluating the risk of COVID-19, we look at both the community spread and cases coming in from abroad, and we look at them separately as well. So for people coming in from abroad, we have a mandatory measure to have them being tested before they enter and also to have self-quarantine. Therefore, we can find them out during the quarantine phase, and it is rare for these cases to spread to community spread. For COVID-19 risk, this depends on the size and also the trend. And also for the response measures, we evaluated based on what is happening within Korea. So until July 11th, for the past 2 weeks, on a daily average, there were 31.7 people newly confirmed on a daily basis. So compared to 28.8 from the previous 2 weeks is a bit of an increase. However, the increase is being maintained at under 50 people. And also, we don't see a massive outbreak. We see small, scattered cases happening. In particular, for this week, we were able to see a stabilization of less than 20 newly confirmed cases of community spread per day. For the cluster outbreak, we saw around 17 cases, and this was a decrease compared to 19 cases from the previous period. So it seems as if the newly confirmed cases are decreasing this week. And for the spread, this is based on door-to-door sales, small gatherings, and from outings. And we are seeing small cluster outbreak happening in a scattered manner in areas that is hard to be controlled by the government. And also for door-to-door sales, after it has been designated as the high-risk area, we have seen explanation sessions being carried out. So we have to make sure that our citizens take caution. For regional cases, we have seen around 15 cases of newly confirmed cases on a daily basis for the metropolitan area. And compared to more than 20 people from the previous period, we see that the number is continuously decreasing. And for the non-metropolitan areas, we still see a continuous case of newly confirmed cases, and this is around a little over 16 people per day. And for the ones that is hard to control, that is being maintained at a level from the previous period as well. In sum, for COVID-19, we have to make sure that we are containing the spread, and we have to make sure that we decrease massive outbreak. And seeing that this is happening now, it is a positive thing. However, for metropolitan area, Daejeon and Gwangju area, we still see newly confirmed cases being found out on a daily basis. And we do not see a radical decrease, so this is still a concern. The government will maintain social distancing at the level that it is now, and we're going to make sure that we have a more severe control over high-risk facilities. We also want to ask our citizens to make sure to practice frequent hygiene and wear face masks, and also make sure to refrain from having close contact in closed and confined spaces. And if you continue to do so, we believe that we will see a further decrease in newly confirmed cases. In particular, for Gwangju, Daejeon, and the Chungcheong areas, we want to ask the citizens there to cooperate even more. We see an increase in cases coming in from abroad. COVID-19 is continuing to spread across the world, and therefore we see an increase in the COVID-19 cases being imported. On a daily average over the past 2 weeks, it was around 19.8 people, and compared to 14 people from the previous 2 weeks, we saw an increase by around 5 people. And as I said before, it is rare for cases coming in from abroad to community spread. However, we do need to treat these people and make sure that we have to quarantine them, and this may bring about a burden to the government and to our community. So we have to make sure that we contain these as well. And through evaluating the risk of COVID-19, we are also evaluating the country so that we can have some restrictions of visa and entrance. And we are also blocking some foreigners from coming in if they are coming in from high-risk countries. And for all people coming in from abroad, we have to make sure that they are being tested with the PCR testing and submitting the test results before they come in. And we are making it mandatory. And we are also in preparation to strengthen the quarantine from ports as well, in addition to airports. So for everyone coming in through harbors or ports, they will have to stay in a life treatment center for 14 days. And also for quick testing, we will have a ports and harbor screening centers, and we're going to expand it to 6 centers. And we're going to expand it further later on so that it amounts to 11 centers in total. And we are trying to respect the principle of openness. However, at the same time, we're going to make sure to place measures so that we are containing COVID-19. In preparation for a massive outbreak that could come about, we are monitoring these as well. Right now, 950 people are under quarantine. And considering the status until now, we don't think there will be a difficulty in securing hospital beds. However, in preparation for a massive outbreak that could come about, for metropolitan areas and Chungcheong area and etc., we're going to divide the areas into 6 places, and we're going to bring about a system for securing hospital beds. And for each region, there may be some difficulties in some cases to secure hospital beds, so we're going to have a cooperative measure, and this is critical. And in such a case, we're going to evaluate the patients based on the severity of their illnesses, and we're going to assign hospital beds based on that. And also we're going to have cooperative control. Recently, for metropolitan area, Daejeon and Gwangju area, if we see a rapid increase in the newly confirmed cases there, we're going to have hospital beds be monitored in a controlled manner, and we have done so before as well. And if necessary, we're going to expand the live treatment centers, and we're going to make sure that we are securing this in a continuous manner for any severe cases that may come about. So the government will try to make efforts so that we can monitor the hospital beds and equipment and medical care facilities and medical care people on a continuous basis. And if necessary, we're going to strengthen measures. Recently, we have done a study for antibodies on COVID-19, and in terms of the interim results, of more than 3,000 people who were tested, only 1 person was found to have antibody, and this is 0.003%. So this means that there could be a case of unknown case within the community, and through rapid and expensive study and tracking, we were able to find people out. And this, I think, is all thanks to the efforts of the practitioners, the relevant personnel, and our citizens. So we want to thank our citizens for practicing frequent hygiene. However, the meaning that we don't have a lot of people with antibodies means that it may be very difficult and almost impossible for us to have a massive immune system. So we have explained this before. And COVID-19 and its transmission could stay for a long term until we have a valid vaccine coming out. And therefore, our society has to do what we have done until now and contain COVID-19 in our daily lives, and we are trying to coordinate it in that manner. In order to live with COVID-19, we have to make sure that we have a new social culture where we see a coordination of COVID-19 and our daily lives. And making this new normal may be difficult and inconvenient. However, considering what our citizens have done until now, we believe that we will be able to come up with a most creative and the best treatment and containment measures. So we want to ask our citizens to continue to cooperate. Now we are seeing the heat of the summer coming in, so it may make us tired. However, we have to make sure that our communal spirit does not get tired. In an era where we live together with COVID-19, we have to make sure that we are wearing face masks and we are continuing to distance ourselves from one another. So we want to ask you to always remember that. Thank you.
지금부터 질의응답 시간을 가지겠습니다.
And that'll conclude our coverage of this briefing. Thank you for watching. Arirang News will be back at the top of the hour.
Looking for some entertaining, eye-opening, and captivating documentaries? Documentary A is the answer. The show takes a fresh approach to diverse topics about Korea,